Recording.
Welcome to the Blockchain Blueprint. Today, Dimitri Hellemond from one half of Blockchain Bros and graciousInterest.com joined me today. Thanks for joining me today, Dimitri.
No problem at all. If I can help out fellow blockchain enthusiasts and cryptocurrency enthusiasts, I'm well happy to help out and be a guest.
Brilliant. Yeah, and if you want to watch the video I did for Blockchain Brothers last week, a live stream, what I think was my very first live stream, as a matter of fact, on YouTube, then I will put the link below in the description. But without further ado, let's begin. So tell me a bit about yourself and your interest in crypto and how you got into this space.
Well, my story with blockchain and cryptocurrency started somewhere 2017, 2018. Probably like most people who started, well, hearing about Bitcoin when it had its very first bull run, when for the very first time its value came up. I didn't immediately, well, directly approach it by investing in it when I saw its value was going upwards, but I was intrigued in the technology and the coin itself. And I was wondering, how is it possible that it can attain such value? So instead of immediately investing in it, I actually started doing some research. And with research, I do mean, well, looking out for technical analysis, scoring forums, well, scoring on a variety of message boards just to see what it was all about. And slowly but surely, I, well, discovered about blockchain, began reading the white paper, what it was all about. And also I have, well, an engineering degree, so I have some technical background. And that enabled me to, well, translate certain highly technical documents into, well, plain English to make it understandable for myself. Now, as I was scouring the internet for information and learning about blockchain and cryptocurrency, well, I noticed that, to put it bluntly, there are a lot of tech nerds around, but they are, well, the majority is incapable of actually making a translation into plain English. And so at that point, I noticed there are really two different parties. You have, well, the guys deep into blockchain and cryptocurrency, but as soon as they start talking about it, talking about the variety of terms, how things work, everything highly technical that beginning investors, beginners in blockchain and cryptocurrency will, you see them get lost. And they think, yeah, okay, it's going to be a bubble. I'm going to listen to what popular media says. Whereas I, on the other hand, is like, well, I can understand their point of view, but also the technical analysis. And there are very few people who can make the bridge between the two. And from that point in time, and I'm talking here somewhere mid 2018, I started launching actually the very first iteration of my website. Back then, it wasn't called Gracious Interest. It was something with a wolf that I named myself after. Very beginning, techie, nerdy, I'm going to say. It had a few iterations, but from that point in time, I actually started, well, helping people out, answering questions on popular media like Quora, which I still use to this day. Started reaching out on people who had questions about cryptocurrency, about blockchain, and started building my rapport. So yeah, that's the story, a little bit of Gracious Interest. Actually, I also invest in cryptocurrency and am invested in a variety of technologies related to blockchain. The reason it is a very young field, and well, it's still continuously in development. So there is still a lot to learn, a lot to explore. And with that, I try to maintain my status or establish myself in status as some kind of educator, not so much a financial advisor or someone who programs blockchain, no, more of as someone who wants to help people understand blockchain and cryptocurrency. So, and up until now, that's my main goal here, being an educator on the matter.
And you mentioned you had an engineering degree, or you had a background in engineering. How much of an advantage, or how much do you think it's helped you understand blockchain or getting into crypto by proxy? Because I feel like if you can understand the ins and outs and the tech behind it, like looking under the hood, if you want to put it that way, I feel that it would give you an enormous leg up or a head start as opposed to most people. Would you agree with that?
You can, well, I can more or less agree with it. However, it is more agreeable to say that if you have a background in ICT, so in programming, software development, you are better off to start understanding blockchain and, well, cryptocurrency in general. Now, I had the luck when I was studying for my degree that I tended to hang out with the local ICTers, so the software developers, etc., who went for their software degrees, well, programming degrees, etc. It was back at the Erasmus Brussels Hogeschool, and yeah, I tended to hang out with those guys, and well, you become the company you have. So I learned, well, I picked up quite a bit about programming, about software development, etc., etc. So that background combined with my studies where I also learned to program, well, basic stuff, well, made me understand certain programming languages. Um, it gave me a solid foundation to really open up a source code and see what the various different parameters are doing, what they represent. So it gives me a certain leg up that even if someone's talking very technical to me, that I can say, okay, just give me the source code. I'm going to verify what it's all about. And from that point of view, I can easily say, yeah, okay, it's a solid project because I saw that. Or it's less, well, it isn't as good by reason I saw in the programming those parameters, and I think that for execution it might be. So that's a little bit my background. Now, for most, well, for the live stream technical analysis that I do, I tend not to go into straight source code. I know I can understand it, but I want to, like I said earlier, bridge that gap and go really well. Yeah, I'm searching for the proper English word here. Sorry, because my native tongue isn't English. Um, well, to keep it more level and, well, just a brief view, I'm going to say, of the project itself. So by reading the white paper, picking out certain keywords that I can explain towards the viewers, towards the people, and say, yeah, look, for example, that's a proof of stake. It's best used for that, and that situation. That's proof of work. That's proof of authority, etc., etc. So I can give a solid explanation while keeping very level and not getting all too technical. So yeah.
Yeah, and obviously we're in the midst of a bull run, which for both Bitcoin and also altcoins, it goes without saying, and it's very obvious for anyone to see with any sort of technical analysis. So what have you made of it? And do you think this is just the beginning, or have we barely even started? We're still in first or second gear?
Well, I dare say if there are different kind of gears, like in a car, we're still probably somewhere second or third gear. So we are really at the beginning of the bull run still. Why do I say this? Well, unlike the bull run from 2017, we are now dealing with corporate and business adaptation. There is corporate money being involved, and on a daily basis, I actually see a variety of news articles. I see tweets, I see Instagram posts, I see Facebook updates from big banks, financial institutions who are actually giving into demand from their customers about giving in, well, offering blockchain and cryptocurrency services. You have the ability to buy crypto and trade crypto, etc., etc. For example, I'm going to refer to the Robinhood application. Since long, I'm going to say, there is the ability to trade cryptocurrency on the platform, but also a little bit due to recent events with the GameStop stocks, and well, the various pump and dump schemes that occurred, they are actually now more and more pushing towards, well, being able to withdraw and deposit cryptocurrency on their platform. So there is an active movement going on, which will impact the crypto markets even further. Because at this point in time, they're dealing with options. Robinhood app is one example. I've heard about Deutsche Bank also getting involved. I heard, well, that's already from a few weeks ago, but investment firms like JP Morgan getting involved. Naturally, we have Tesla and Elon Musk and SpaceX also getting involved. We have MicroStrategy, etc., etc., etc. There are also rumors of, for example, Apple slowly looking into cryptocurrency and perhaps trying to enable trades with, well, authorized payments with Bitcoin or other cryptocurrency. So with that, I'm assuming, because more and more firms are getting into it, that we are, well, still in the inception of mainstream adoption, but, well, there's still a lot of work to be done, but there's also big work which has passed already. So yeah, when the bull run will end, to be honest, I have no immediate clue. I heard rumors about somewhere summer 2022. Uh, some say, well, somewhere at the end of this year, 21. To be honest, I have no actual idea. By reason, we are now with, well, dealing with corporate adoption, and all depends on how quick all those companies and corporations want to move and want to adapt on it. Um, Myself, I believe it will become, well, it will go much faster now. By reason, well, with Bitcoin, there's the 1 trillion market cap, which has finally been reached and breached. And I know certain investment companies will only invest when a total market cap of a stock, of an option, or in this case, cryptocurrency, has reached the 1 trillion cap, and that they might say, okay, now it's big enough for us to get involved in. So yeah, it's kind of hard to predict and say, well, this will happen, it will reach that and that value at that and that date. That's one of the reasons why I tend to say, well, we're still in the inception. Certain values will be attained, like the $100,000 USD cap, USD value for Bitcoin. It will be reached. I'm fairly certain, probably this year, but don't ask me when. It might be somewhere July, August. Myself, I've got doubt that it's probably more towards November, December of this year, somewhere. But yeah, predictions are hard. So I dare say it's more a question of when and not so much will it. So, yeah.
And you've mentioned Bitcoin a few times there already, and I can see, based on your analysis of it, it's one of those crypto projects that excites you the most. Would I be fair in saying that? And also, are there other crypto projects that you're just as enthusiastic about, and why?
Well, I tend to use Bitcoin as a prime example by reason that, well, it is the most renowned by everyone. Naturally, I'm involved with other projects. To answer your question, I'm also involved with Chainlink, Ethereum, although to a lesser extent, I have to admit. Ethereum, mostly because it's the most popular platform for decentralized application development. Naturally, there's also Polkadot I'm involved with, and a recent new one I'm going to say is Ravencoin, which thought itself as a sort of Bitcoin 3.0 by reason, whereas Bitcoin touts itself to be, well, peer-to-peer electronic cash. Ravencoin is a continuation whereby it becomes possible with them to trade physical and digital assets. So it is connected towards NFTs, etc. So that's, for example, more a project I'm quite big on. Other coins and projects I'm also big on is, for example, Basic Attention Token. I make use of their Brave browser. By reason, I'm naturally, like most people, very keen on privacy, saving time, and being as ad-free as possible. basic attention token, Brave browser. Love those guys. That's one of the main reasons for every time I see there's a possibility to use the Brave browser on my phone, on a tablet, or on my computer, it will be installed immediately. So that's another one. I did mention, I believe I mentioned them all already. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you tell me, I don't know what's in your portfolio. So.
Yeah, my portfolio is actually bigger than I tend to share. I believe now those are the most popular ones that I've shared. I've also got a few other lesser known coins, but those were, well, given or not launched yet. Like, for example, I'm also on the Pi network or P network, which is a project from Stanford University, and that's actually a cryptocurrency which you can mine on your smartphone. And just for that reason, yeah, for that reason alone, I was quite interested in it, wanted to do a review about it, but well, I first had some troubles getting into it by reason you need to be invited by one of the users. So I had some luck on Twitter where some guy actually shared his login and said, well, if you use this code, you can log into the P network and you can start mining and become part of my security circle. Quite happy about it because that gave me an entry point into the network itself. And luckily, I managed to share also my own link with others who are interested to cryptocurrency, where I said, look, this one's new, this one's going to be launched future-wise. I believe there's some good potential in it by reason of developers being very active and also in the way it is being set up. So, yeah.
Brilliant. And we've obviously seen in the last week, I talked about this on your show when I brought it up, and it turned into a really long debate. But I have to bring up the subject of NFTs again, and we've seen that collage of the 5,000 images in like
people.
one big like piece of art, but yeah, by people, yeah. And it went for $69 million. Now,
insane.
I don't know about you, but you know, I'm all for like free market capitalism and paying for whatever's the going rate is the going rate and so on. But how far do you think NFTs can go? Because I feel like the sky's the limit. Please share your thoughts.
Yeah, well, with NFTs, there is a lot of potential possible. Sadly enough, and I'm probably not the only one who is going to share this opinion, but others also with me. Currently, it's mostly being used to sell crypto art, and that might vary from simple digital designs to, well, I've seen pictures made in paint from Windows, etc. People trying to cash in on art or uniqueness. That's not really, well, how to say, making good use of NFT or blockchain technology. However, I did notice other people are more exploring the depths and possibilities with NFTs. Like, for example, a popular British rock group has launched their music as an NFT. They are, well, in direct connection with their fans. That, for example, is a very good example of making use of NFTs. Direct distribution without making use of a middleman like the record labels or additional managers. At that point, it's really the group saying, okay, this is our music. You can buy it from us in the form of an NFT, and we can spread it immediately. And for each rebuy and each sale, well, we still get our cut without having additional managers and additional record companies getting in it, withdrawing the majority of the cash, and us for our music and our, well, effort we put into it getting peanuts. So that, for example, is a very good use of NFTs. Another application, for example, is with concert tickets. I believe we also talked about it in the backroom of the last live stream we did on Blockchain Bros. For example, that you can actually make concert tickets or festival tickets with NFTs. By reason, well, it is a unique card and it securely stores, well, all necessary data like who's the buyer, on what date, where the concert is, etc., etc. And it makes it very hard to make false copies. By reason, you can verify all transactions and all data available on the blockchain. So that's another example where NFTs can be made to good use, better use currently than will all the crypto art that's currently going around.
And also, are there any DeFi decentralized finance projects that take your fancy or you're quite enthusiastic about?
Well, Polkadot, for example, mentioned it earlier, is one of those DeFi-based projects. And actually, I have to put it between brackets by reason, yes, they are more or less occupied with DeFi, so with decentralized finance, but they are more about the bringing about of a Web 3.0, a decentralized internet. Should I go into detail what decentralized internet is or Web 3.0 is, or we'll leave it at that?
Feel free.
Well,
you take the floor. It's your platform.
Okay, so Web 3.0 is actually about making a decentralized internet. Currently, all our websites, all popular websites we visit, are being stored on, I wanted to say secured, no, on central servers placed somewhere in big data centers, like a Google data center, Facebook data center, etc., etc., etc. Now, with a decentralized internet, there is no central server which can be manipulated, read out, or hacked. It's all data is being stored on a blockchain. For example, like a YouTube clone, I'm going to say, YouTube itself also has data centers where all their videos are being stored, where all responses, remarks, and accounts are being stored. Now, there exists a blockchain alternative, which is called Odyssey or Libri.tv. It is some kind of YouTube clone, but with the sole exception that there isn't really a big data center behind it. It makes use of blockchain technology, and the miners themselves actually secure the network and all uploads, transactions being made on that platform. So there's no central server to be hacked. Also, it it counters censorship. By reason with YouTube, with their central data servers, well, moderators and people actually who have the authority over the platform can start censoring and adding publicity, censoring videos, censoring certain remarks. With Odyssey and Libri TV, it is being saved on the blockchain. It cannot be censored, as it would imply they will need to, well, change the mining script to change the data being stored on the blockchain. So, and that's a little bit what Web 3.0 is about a decentralized internet which is highly secured, which is resistant against censorship and centralization. And that's a little bit what Polkadot is about. Now, your initial question was about DeFi, naturally, which other projects. I'm also big on Uniswap. That's another good one. By reason, well, it is one of those very first projects, I'm going to say, being related towards DeFi, but which has its own fair share of different clones in DeFi. For example, the Sushi Swap, I always have difficulties pronouncing that one, is actually a clone of Uniswap. It is a hard clone from their software with a few additional changes. Yeah, so Uniswap is another big one. There's also Banco. That's the Banco network. It's another DeFi project. Also big one. They are quite solid. If I'm not mistaken, they were the very, very first one to be developed, and they are practically the project which launched how DeFi works. So by making use of an intermediary token, mainly the Bancor token, which has then been copied by Binance, by Uniswap, SushiSwap with their own native tokens for exchange. So yeah. So when it comes down to it, DeFi, Polkadot, Bancor, and Uniswap, those are my three big ones.
Those are Dimitri's top tips right there. Like, I'll just, yeah, there you have it. And Is there anything else you'd like to add that I might not have asked before we wrap this up?
Well, not as much. Like I said, I'm mostly an educator. I try to see myself as an educator on things related towards blockchain and cryptocurrency. I receive a lot of questions from people where they ask, well, what do you think about this token and that coin? And I have to be honest, some of the coins that reach my ears, I'm like, never heard about them. I'm willing to analyze them in the crypto bull. So if people want to reach out and say, yeah, can you do an analysis of that one just to see your opinion? It's always free to reach out to me on Twitter, on the Facebook page of Gracious Interests, on the social media that I'm present on, and then I might just do an analysis. At this point in time, I'm mostly making use of actual polls. For the next episode, I have the choice between the Tor network, so the Rune token. There was the brand, the one that you mentioned in the back room of Blockchain Bros. That I'm willing to do. I had a quick peek and it piqued my interest. And currently from the poll,
Which one was it? Sorry,
brand or something. Wait, I'm going to quickly.
Hedera Hashgraph.
Yeah, Hashgraph. That was it.
One.
Yeah, that one currently winning. So I'm hoping it will be the maximum one in the poll. No, from the very short, view that I had on CoinGecko, sounded very interesting. So I hope that one is going to win. So his brand, and the other one was, so it has been in, I forgot which one it was. So no worries. So yeah, those are currently the 3 coins that are up on the poll that I might do a technical analysis about. So yeah, quite stoked about it. So yeah.
And because there's so many coins out there, for me, like when people mention that coins that I've not heard of, and they're just not, and they're very, very new to it, and they kind of look at me as if like I should know everything about every single coin out there when there's 10,000 of them or something.
It's insane. I get also that a lot by reason, I'm trying to profilate myself as an educator, but people tend to underestimate how many projects, how many coins really are present on the crypto market. Like, you never heard about that one? Yeah, sorry. I tend to look up the coins which pique my interest, and some coins, haven't really piqued my interest, but I did a quick analysis, a quick view upon, by reason that was, I'm curious what they do, but that I found a few mistakes, like, for example, very low value, where I immediately saw on its historical value that is going to be a bad coin. Other coins were like, yeah, looks promising, but as soon as you start reading white papers and get deeper into the community, I'm like, yeah, no, this is an obvious scam, an obvious rug pull, etc. So there are literal, like you said, tens of thousands of different coins present, and I can't remember all of them. Even some which are, the very first top 100 coins, I believe even from the very first 20, I can't even name them by name. By all I know, it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, currently Cardano, and then my mind starts, fading away. So yeah, there's a literal shit ton of coins.
Oh yeah, yeah. And even then, like as we speak, it may well be that that top 10, or even let alone the top 5, would have changed. Like at one point XRP was number 3, and now it's today, as of this recording, it's at number 7. And like Polkadot and Cardano are at number 5, and in the top 5. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are the changes which occur in the crypto market. I saw it actually happening somewhere early 2020 already, when I noticed more and more focus on DeFi. I actually, didn't officially made the prediction, but I wrote it down in some of my notes. Keep an eye on everything related towards DeFi. And September, October 2020, I saw them rise, and looking at the current state where Uniswap is situated, where Cardano is situated, I know DeFi has grown. And now with the NFTs, pretty sure tokens which are NFT based like Ravencoin, those guys will grow. Ethereum is still doing so successfully by reason, well, it is the main platform where most decentralized applications are being built upon, as well as where NFTs are being used. So I don't see them immediately moving towards a third or fourth place, by reason that a variety of projects dealing with NFTs are present on that platform. Now, it might change depending on how well their updates will cross over.
Okay, great. And with that, if people want to reach out to you, what's the best way they can do that?
Easiest way is through my Twitter profile. So on the gracious interests profile, you can always send DMs. You can reach out to me just by simply posting on the timeline. Facebook page is also quite easily available. Notifications and messages are enabled. So those two really are the easiest. The easiest of those two is going to be my Twitter.
Great. Dimitri, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a real pleasure having you.
You're welcome. Was happy to do this little interview with you, and thank you for having me.
No problem at all. Cheers, everyone.